Oh god, I love the quick.
Wait.
And on that note, we get into the game.
That may be the worst pirate I've ever heard of. But I have heard of him, and I've heard that this game has some level of stakes to it. Pengu, yes, for Elevate, there's no effect that this match can have on the standings. But for Direwolves, winning here, or in fact, even just getting a single point, so getting 6 rounds and going to overtime, guarantees that they'll jump at least into 5th place or 4th place, which means that they will not start on the same side of the bracket as Elevate. So at least there is something to play for here for Direwolves.
Yeah, there is. I can't get over that diss segment. Sorry, I just need to compose myself there. It's actually ridiculous sometimes with you guys.
Yes,
I love it though.
Yes, we know how to make a show descend into chaos. And as we get into Bank, I actually have saved us a fun fact, Pengu, if I'm allowed to divulge. So, as Jake actually pointed out, Direwolves did play Bank back in the playoffs of Stage 1. In fact, in the 3rd place match of Stage 1, of course, first was Bleed, second was Fury, 3rd and 4th, it was Elevate and Direwolves, who played in a BO3 to determine who would be 3rd place in the region. Elevate won the series, but Direwolves won on Bank. So this is actually a rematch of the last time these two teams met in the server, and Direwolves have the historical head-to-head on this map.
Interesting, okay. Someone doing their work prep right there. I'd love to see it. No shade. I'm excited for it. I'm a big Elevate guy. I've been praising them to people that I've been talking to Siege about, being like, you know what, Bleed, they're good, Elevate looking pretty good as well. So I was very disappointed to see Elevate losing that 0-7 when Bleed actually played them, because I was thinking, you know what, make it tight, make it close, exciting. No, it was a stomp. It's a complete fiesta. Hopefully Elevate can do some of that today though, and just destroy Direwolves, because I feel like that should be where they're at skill level wise. But with that being said, Elevate are fighting for practically nothing, so how much will they care? I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, that's a great point to remember here. Like, this game does have stakes for Direwolves, and it doesn't have stakes for Elevate. Aside from, of course, just getting form, getting some experience in the server, and demonstrating to yourselves that you're going to be in solid form going into playoffs, which is, believe it or not, just tomorrow. Like, we're playing BO3s tomorrow night. Less than 24 hours from now, these guys...
Wait, playoffs is tomorrow for you guys?
To locate and defuse
Well, when is it for you guys?
Well, often it would be it's a whole week gap. Like, you have your
unless I'm not crazy, but
then you have playoff start.
Let me check what I've circled in my calendar. So here, I've circled in my calendar.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry,
yeah,
I'm so confused because the time zones. I'm looking at my calendar, and it's got Europe and Asia on the same day, because Europe starts at 1 AM my time.
Oh.
Today is Wednesday, right? Oh, it's technically Thursday because it's past midnight.
Today's Wednesday my time.
Yeah, so technically playoffs are today my time, Pengu.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay. That's exciting.
Yeah, hells yeah. So we get to see these guys go head-to-head in VO3s starting tomorrow, which is lovely. We already know that both these teams have made it into those playoffs, of course. Elevate, though, they get that bye, they start the semi-finals. And if Elevate win in regulation here, then they may indeed getting a rematch against Direwolves in that semi-final if Direwolves are able to win in the quarters. But to kick things off, Uppe on a nice fast entry here with the live drone ahead of him. He's about to meet a player. Easy freebie and bin in the bin.
3 bins. I love that integration of the drone work with the entry following, the confidence as well. We see so many teams just drone for roamers and nobody follows through, so find the defender, drone dies, and you gotta drone it again. That sucks, right? Send in a drone, a player behind, horizontally and vertically as well. Elevate working all the floors and peeling back all those layers. This is what we've the Direwolves. They have an extension to open area, so they are holding on to a soft roam for a bit longer, but with this pace from Elevate, I mean, you can force back Direwolves in the next 30 seconds if you're quick, and that's really good for the attacking side.
How much longer will we see Direwolves hold on is my question. Classic roam in open area here on Bank. Shed's found his on Harambe, and I don't know what Seal is doing. His headset must be broken, as he didn't hear the player sledge in behind him. Easy kill for MC. It is a complete bloodbath. Pika goes for a flank. 1 kill, 2 kills. Farming a couple here for Pika, but he doesn't find the third one. A little bit of aim training for him as he finds 2 exit frags. Shed is unnecessarily hyped after that. And Elevate absolutely suffocate Direwolves in the opening round.
Having some fun with it. And I'm not entirely sure what happened there with Direwolves. I mean, surely they must have known where the attackers were coming from. You know, they had a player die in Arkham Tillers, the Solus, so they should know that the sledge is there to open up the soft wall. And they just had no clue what was going on. That's a basement defense when you're roaming. You're gambling it all to work out on the roam. And the moment you lose the first player, you have to make a very conscious decision. Either you fall back and play that 4 versus 5, which is not ideal, or you stay a bit longer in open area and try and make something happen. Direwolves, they stuck around, didn't feel like they were trying to make anything happen. They were waiting for something to happen. And what happened was, well, they got destroyed in their gunfights. They outright just got bested by Elevate, who's looking so much more comfortable in the server. Gonna go straight back to basement again and just, yeah, go for pro.
Yeah, I mean, what do you change? Aside from don't just keep walking past people sitting there. I don't think a single one of those was really a true engagement. Like the opening kill, like you said, Solus dying, who was looking in the wrong direction. Yeah. I believe it was Fenrir, who was just like crouching in the middle of the open area. Yeah, that was just freebie as well. One engagement in lobby was technically a 50-50 fight, but an unfavored one. So it's a bit of a red flag if Direwolves aren't even actually getting into engagements. If they're just having all of their players shot in the side or the back.
It's tough when you're fighting with so much map control, and with that, Direwolves not fighting for any of it this time around. You look at this. It's a full-on 5-man turtle downstairs. Super out to start with the hatches of the walls downstairs in the servers. Echo, Smoke, 2 C4s, 3 with the 2x3 for Plant and I. So, usually when you play a heavy turtle strap like this, you need to do like a soft roam, just to stall it out a little bit, right? Because Elevate, open area. Wait, why is Smoke here?
What is Harambe doing, man?
You need this up leader. Yeah. He's trolling. No, yeah, he's actually trolling.
We've seen a lot of questionable moments from Harambe this stage, and that may well take the cake.
He is the most important defender in the entire server. Echo is good, sure. The C4 is also good, but the smokes, they're gonna stall for 45 seconds. That's your whole win condition. You burn down the clock, C4, smoke, C4, final smoke, and then final C4. You have Yokai Jones, etc. That's your plan. To stop the plan. With that kill to smoke Elevate, they have so much extra time to work with, and they got the IQ for the Yokai Jones too. Unless they blatantly troll this round for Elevate, I don't know how they're supposed to be losing it.
A very dangerous mistake to make for Harambe. He's made a lot of mistakes this stage. A lot of conversation about him on the desk. You know, he potentially wasn't meant to be playing here at all, formerly the coach of this team. I like the Tuberau here, though, to potentially support that mirror window from getting opened by the X-Karos. That will not last forever, and there's still a minute left to play. Flash goes out. This nice pixel angle for Bin Bin. May find him a kill. The plant goes down. Here come the smokes, and now he's just going to tap, but will be forced off that angle. Now it's up to Elevate to go for this execute, and Shed's gone actually very deep. This is a really cheeky plant spot with the smoke to try and cover him. No warden on the board, no information. A C4 is a team kill as Pika has just taken out Bin Bin. It's all up to Souffle. The 1v4. Not even sure if he knows where that plant's gone down. First kill, can't even come through. And I believe this can be covered from 2 hatches. Doesn't matter, Uppe finds it regardless. Easy round there for Elevate. Direwolves getting completely dismantled.
Yeah, I mean, do I have to say it? Imagine that the defenders had a smoke on the board there. That plant surely doesn't go down. Even without the smoke, they did have 2 C4s in pocket. Only 1 was used, and all it did was it got a team kill. I think it clipped the wall and got stuck and didn't quite get all the way to the bomb site. But either way, bit of a puzzling couple of situations there in the first 2 rounds. Direwolves don't know that they have a full-on understanding of where their teammates are playing and what the overall strategy is going to be, and the individual responsibilities. This one here, it's so. I was saying how you gotta have an early soft roam. That means you start the round in open area, top floor, you kill a drone, you fall back into the second drone, you go back to the bomb site, you're fine. You cannot realize after 60 seconds of the round, oh, we should have been roaming in the beginning. Then you walk up the staircase because it's too late. Because you didn't have any roamers to begin with, the attackers, they own the entire map.
10 seconds left.
It breaks my heart as a former smoke player myself to see that happen, because if that was me, or the Fabian, he would have scored every inch of the earth to make sure that I knew that I missed it.
Yeah, rough start for Harambe. Direwolves tried basement, had not much success twice now, so they move over to open area, and I think this is a good change.
Yes.
To be honest, we've seen some really good defenses at this bomb site, even though it can be a little bit weak sometimes. In particular, I like seeing the Azami hold on to Kitchen. Such a solid position to have, especially with that slug shoddy that acts essentially like a DMR. We've got the castle to also fortify some positions. We've got a mirror. Maybe Dials can get back into it here.
Hope so for them. Open area, very different bomb site, much more dynamic. They're around the map, you can extend across the board. Like they're playing top floor with a mirror window, they're playing the staircases. But Elevate again, one thing has not changed for them. They are so quick. They see the mirror and janitors, go and see your repel. Ashby goes out, boom, shatters the mirror, and now they're throwing it out. He's going out as well, holding verticality. So play though, finds Ape, actually Direwolves in the first opening kill so far.
Not sure where that kill went down, but here comes Speakeasy. Backstabbed by Harambe here in stock. He's actually not holding in Kitchen. 3v3. This is quite winnable now for Direwolves if they can consolidate their position, fall back to site, pick up the pieces. So there's not a ton of util here to speak of here for Elevate. No breaching charges. A little bit of hard breach to work with here from Shed, but Hibana's used all the X-Kairos.
Okay, Hatch already been opened up, at least the one in stock. Direwolves again, I want to see them play together. Are they going to play for side? Are they going to play for a flank or a backstab? Right now they're going to be playing a little bit spread apart. That's okay for now. They have a guy server staircase, main staircase, and a third player on the side itself. Elevate, if they can find the read here, they'll realize that, hey, there are isolated players. Take down one by one. Be a person from above, drop down the hatch. It's moving.
Some information now. I think they've done good drone work to try and figure out where these last players are. But I think MC is still figuring out his point to actually backstab. Yeah, he is going to be that backstab player. Wallbang from Bin Bin. That certainly turns this around on its head now. Shared low HP, an attempted trade from Enhaikal. He's been such a good player this stage. Finds his first, finds the double. Oh. This is what we needed from Enhaikal. Direwolves now just up to Harambe. Nice little use of the Kiba barrier, but a wide swing here from Enhaikal, and Shed comes up off that plant to take down Harambe. Great recomposure there from Elevate in that 2 versus 3, thanks to the heroics from him and Enhaikal.
It's so good. I haven't seen much from Enhaikal myself because I've only been going a couple of days of Asia League, but every single time I have seen him, he is popping off. Ape as well, doing a great job with the verticality. Everyone's working together. There's no individual element for Elevate. It is a squad of 5 people working together as one functional team. That mini execute upstairs, they're striking from 3-4 different locations, but all trying to take down the same couple of players upstairs in CO and Janitors. So Direwolves, I'm not surprised they're gonna call a technical timeout and change things around and just talk things through, because this is not how Bank should be going for you. If you're happy to go here, you gotta look a bit more competent in the server.
Yeah, I wonder if maybe these guys are a little bit rusty on that map, and they haven't played it for like 2 months now. Well, they played it a few times in the EWC qualifiers. They played it last stage, but it's not a map that's been regular in their pool at all. They've banned it quite a lot this stage, haven't been allowed to go to it. Really, they've only actually played 3 maps so far in the stage, in Clubhouse, Nighthaven, and Border. Just once on Border. I think now for Direwolves, they're maybe looking at their map pool and saying, okay, so we're not maybe as good as we thought on Nighthaven and Clubhouse. We can't always go to Border. We have to bring back an old map into our pool. Go to one map that Elevate are really good on. Of course, Elevate actually beat Fury here on the same very map. Direwolves, after that tactical timeout, what are they going to do? We go to the top floor bomb site for the first time. This is, I feel like most of the time we see this bomb site, you either win it really convincingly or lose it extremely poorly. Tends to snowball whichever team gets the advantage first.
Attacker's objective is to defuse
The
a bomb.
lineup right now for Direwolves, they tend to go back upon information when they start to struggle. Second time we've seen the Echo from them. And Echo is great because it's movable information. You can rotate that camera around, but it also only gives you 2 cameras. Maestro Evilise, Valkyries, they will give you more. You can't control exactly where they go. Also, I guess I gotta talk about it actually. There's a small Echo buff. You now have these, I call them Nitro boosters on drones, where you can make them go faster.
Does Echo get that
And-
too?
Yeah, you're seeing him right now, dude. He's zooming across the map.
I didn't even notice that. That's sick.
Yeah. So I think Twitch drones, Echo drones, etc. Not Forest drones, that's different. Brava cams also. So yeah, you can go faster on Echo drones. So small buff frames.
Bank is like the map where we see the iconic Echo roams as well. I think back to the old Rogue roster when they really started to kind of pioneer use of that Echo aggressively. We started to see it on Bank, and that's pretty much what Direwolves seem to be going for here with that aggressive Yokai in lobby that we saw previously. Elevate, though, have made pretty solid progress. They've opened up that stock wall into the hallway, and that cuts off so much movement from the defense moving up that stock hallway. Where is the intended execute? This Osa is phenomenal for going for those executes, but they do need to be hyper careful of these flanks, and Harambe is here waiting down below. Oh, he's so close to someone.
Timing here. Does he have to read? Oh, they don't hear each other. Like 2 ships in the night, they just pass one another. Bit unlucky there. Now Ape has advantage, because if Jaeger has been spotted, there could be a chance of a track coming out. Look at this, this should be
Swing now.
dangerous.
Timing, he hears it. Free kill there for Harambe. Big pick as well, Ape going down. Like you said, the Deimos, that's a very powerful operator. However, elsewhere, Elevator found their
Look at
pick
the
and
hands
are
here.
poised on the site. Yeah, they are very keen to. Now, there are 2 bulletproof cameras looking at their position, and they're probably worried about the Plantadile from below. Thankfully, MC can start clearing out this util.
Let's as well. Shouldn't be worried. I mean, there's no C4s. This should be a clean plant.
Oh.
Maybe a Yoga spawn, they can slow it down, but they can't quite stop it.
Yeah, but a C4, some util. No, the Yokai shot out, I believe, but fights back and forth, and Elevate lose these exchanges. 1 for 1, trading down. 2 versus 3. Enhai Cal has to jump in the building, but we know what he's capable of. We saw Elevate win that 2v3 last round. It was Enhai Cal
Hambe was running
Shed
earlier.
to do it as well. Yeah, Souffle, big swing. Makes it up to Shed now with this Ying. No util to speak of, and Bin Bin will lock it in. Nice lockout there from Direwolves. Finally, they're on the board, but it took them a little bit longer than they would have liked.
Small misplays off from Elevate. The first one I think we've seen so far. Speakeasy was the Osa player. He kind of came off the plant and went for a swing when he was hit by the Yokai's stun. You can argue that if he just keeps on trying to plant, eventually, you see it right there, they'll run out of those stuns and then it should be okay. We knew from knowing all the other lineups and utility available, there was no way to get rid of that Osa shield from the defenders. There's no impacts left, no C4, no real verticality either. But if you're elevating the server and you know Candelas are no longer flying out, the flank is closing in on you, and you don't feel like you have a lot of map control, of course it makes sense for Speakeasy to try and go for a kill, because that would buy them so much space to then go for a plant afterwards. But small things, it can happen. Direwolves, they actually fight back and they held their nerve. That's the very big thing. Harambe playing on the server staircase, taking the first kill to Ape on the Deimos. That's a really great start. But then they just fall back and they relax. They don't overcommit to anything. Imagine that Harambe keeps flanking. He likely dies to a flank drone, and then back to a 4v4, and things don't look so good any longer. So Direwolves maybe have started to read out the pacing right now. See if they can continue on. They got 2 more attempts here in defense for the side swap comes through. Gonna go to basement for the 3rd time. Mind you, they lost in the first 2. They're pretty one-sided.
And remember the Direwolves win condition for this match. Like if they want to make it into 4th or 5th place, or if you want to go in 5th at least, so it's changed the side of the bracket that they'll be playing on. All they need is 1 point out of this game. A bit of a lurk here from Ape. He's going to find a freebie on the seal. There should be a trade, though. There's a player right there. And Harambe goes for that swing, but a trade back again. No, Harambe doubles down. Finally, we see him come to life. Aggressive play from Elevate goes punished.
Actually, there was a lack of respect there. Abe finds the first pick. Instead of just standing by that double door for a reload or holding a passive angle, waiting for a drone, he keeps walking into the kitchen, looking in the wrong direction. Harambe, good for 3. That should be the roam game 1. You can conclude this one, guys. Up the hatch, fall back, play in numbers, or if you stick around, make sure you stick around together. Souffle and Harambe can establish a crossfire and do a 2-1 trade. That will be okay. But if things get too hectic, you gotta fall back.
MC's found Bin Bin though. This roam game has not been sacrificed. And then Harambe over peaks. So we do have a trade though. Now a 2 versus 1 favoring Direwolves, but MC is very capable of clutching this. Souffle's got a retreat. MC's actually dropped out into sight. Souffle hasn't yet done so himself. It's a flip of the switch. MC has that diffuser, but there's no rotate even for him to go and move in. Souffle very ambitious to peek that with the Deagle, but he lands his shot. And the round on the board for Direwolves.
Harambe's the hero of that one. I mean, he kept going aggressive and it worked out and wins 3 separate gunfights to slow the push from Elevate. But even with that heroic play, it still gets a little too close for comfort in my opinion. Direwolves, they're eager to fight. And I think that's really good for them in those like 5v5s and even numbers. But once they get that advantage, oh, I don't want to see them throw them. Especially because they call the tactical timeout, they have no parachute. If they throw a round that they should be winning and they start tilting mentally, that can snowball into more negatives in future rounds. I'm really good for them, or happy for them, that they did close that one out cleanly. Because otherwise, you know, things start slipping away. Going 2-4 in defense bank is actually not all too bad. It tends to be leaning towards an attacker favorite map. But they have a chance here of equalizing at 3-3, and that is actually really good.
Yeah, so far in the Asia League Stage 2, Bank is one of the most attacker-sided maps at 57%. And funnily enough, Clubhouse is the other one, by the way. Actually, no, sorry, I read that wrong. Chalet, that makes a lot more sense. Yes. But funnily enough, I looked at the stats for both of these teams, and specifically on Bank, both of them are quite heavily attacker-favored as well. So, yeah, 4-2 is not bad, but I want to flip that on its head and say a 3-3 would be massive here from Direwolves. However, Harambe, 15 seconds into the round, is caught out on a reinforcement. Another impactless round for Harambe. I mean, it's great to have a 3K and save the round every now and then, but I would much rather him be consistently get 1 kill a round instead of just go hard or go home.
Especially because you can't look at the other 4 players as, super consistent themselves either. Seals is still on like 0-5, not getting his first frag. That means that, okay, either everyone else has to step up and make those hero plays, or he has to get active himself in the server. Whereas Elevate, much more of a team effort. Yeah, you got Inhai on 7 kills, but then you got 3-3-5-3. Everyone is putting in equal effort. Now again, we're going to pick for Elevate. They're really good at snowballing these leads into a bigger and bigger and better situation for them, because they don't overcommit. Elevate can go fast when they go for an execute, but other than that, they like to hold their angles, drone things out. They need intel to make the right decisions, and right now, they're doing just that. They're on their rappels, waiting for things to approach, and then they're going to go for a take.
I expect Speakeasy is going to be one of the main players to do that. Here comes a Candela. He's going to land the shots on the back of it. He does. No sight here. But not needed, it seems. Immediately, a reply. However, Elevate seem to win that. 4v2 now, as they've taken top floor control. And that roam game has been completely decimated for Direwolves. Elevate in the driver's seat now to lock this out. 4-2.
Attackers recovered the diffuser.
Not gonna lie, when I saw the iron side, I thought for a second there was gonna be a shotgun, but he started shooting automatic bullets. I'm like, what is happening right now? It works for Speakeasy.
The iron sight
What do you think, sorry?
aims faster or
Yes.
makes you move faster?
Yes.
I forget which. Yeah, there you go.
Yes, you aim down faster with the iron sight, and the holoscope also faster than the ACOG. The more zoom, the slower it is, basically.
Yeah.
With a laser on top of it, you further increase the speed. That could, of course, be the reasoning for it, but it could also just like be pre-aimed in as you swing the door. That's also possible. Definitely a playstyle choice, which is very unique, very interesting. Maybe intended, but it's kind of cool.
Let's see if it works out for him. Oh, here's an aggressive play from Ape. No trade. Bin Bin gets away with that. Elevate have to be careful not to snowball this lead, and Speakeasy, good luck trying to take these long fights with that disgusting looking iron sight. The plant starts to go down. Here come the bees, good lock in for Shed. Pika jumps up. Now he needs to win these two 1v1s, but Speakeasy with the eye in sight puts him in the dirt. Bullet straight between his eyes, and Elevate managed to scrape away with that 4-2 half they were looking for.
And I just checked there. I did see the laser for Speakeasy on the Ying, so I imagine what the concept there is. It's because you're gonna be using your gadget right before taking a gunfight. It quote-unquote makes sense to have a really fast ADS speed. Then you can throw out a Candela, instantly go for a fight, and put yourself up for a higher chance of being successful in that engagement. But then you saw the issue right after. He drops the corner hatch right here. He's fighting one of the longest angles on the map that's not from outside the building on a rappel, and it becomes very awkward very quickly to try and find that kill.
Yeah, what was going on with Harambe though, man? He needs to reel it in. It'd be a very different case on attack though. Yeah.
Like, they're reinforcing mid-round. It's somebody messed up, somebody made a massive mistake, and either Harambe, it was his responsibility, because he's Asami who's playing that position, but he was covering for a teammate. But either way, it certainly is one of those, okay guys, I know it's a risk, but not reinforcing this wall is really bad, because we can't play in the hallway otherwise. I'm gonna take that risk. It's just very unfortunate that it's Harambe who we've been critical of just a couple of rounds ago, and makes that same mistake again.
Attackers are heading out to defuse a bomb.
Scope.
What's Shed cooking up? I'm gonna say it, we still are yet to see like a really cool, impressive use of Scopus.
Yeah, it's been a bit dry. We've seen it being played in Brazil, EU, NA, and I think every region has played Scopus a handful of times now. And I can't recall a clip where I was like, that's a Scopus thing. I've seen a Scopus get 4 kills, like viewers in NAL, but that was just him having a gun shooting people. It wasn't the gadget at the time. So, show us something.
Yeah, or something.
Grab the drone.
C4 could actually be massive too. Oh, shot out. That was very quick there from Bin Bin. And Haikal still holding onto his position. They're very aggressive and get shot in the foot. Punished for his aggression. Have a look at this. All of a sudden, Direwolves find 2 picks out of seemingly nowhere. Elevate on that back foot. Shed looking to get aggressive. He's playing that Scopus still. He's taking a hell of a lot of damage. He finds one, but is immediately traded on back. Elevate cannot afford to go 1-for-1. They have to bite off a little bit more than that. And so MC is looking for something. This is one key to barrier. Goes for a bit of a flank, bit of a peek. He's being hunted as well. Harambe on the other side forces him back.
It's a very awkward situation where Speakeasy and company is 2v4. They're not sweating for this either. I mean, they got the discipline, they got the patience, but Direwolves, they got so much time to work with. Rome is still somewhat active. C4 gets popped, doesn't even find the kill, sadly. And they just keep droning. 5 more left to go for Direwolves. They have so much intel to work off of. You see the Scopus in action. Actually, there's an attacker downstairs on the bomb side. They got side control.
Oh,
the red rotate.
I thought this was a defender, but no, Pika is just waiting in red. He's been waiting here the whole time for someone to come back to site. That's genius. I love that Direwolves didn't overextend. It just allowed Pika to hold his position. How on earth does Speakeasy win this?
Does. No C4, no intel to work with. You see him, like, he has no yellow pings. Everyone's spectating him, basically.
Yeah, they know exactly where he is as well. Very well played there from Direwolves, and I just love the patience that they managed to utilize in that late round. Like, don't get ahead of themselves. That's looking like a much better Direwolves, a much more composed one. And look, they're close to tying this up. We know Bank is pretty attacker-sided. There's a very real shot here that Direwolves could give Elevate their second loss of the stage.
I think you go back to basement. I know we're seeing it right now, but I'm saying this because I think it was a very simple reason why that round fell apart so quickly. NIKL put himself in the corner of CEO and just died. In the corner of CEO, you can't leave. That's the strength of the window repels, right? You're stuck in the corner, go out to C4, C4 gets shot, he has to just wait until he dies eventually. So go back to the same bomb site, you can do that same roam upstairs, get offensive, get aggressive with it, but don't put yourself in a corner. That's the whole thing about the roam game. You're gonna create as many ways to rotate around the map and stay moving on your toes, kill drone, fall back, kill drone, fall back. Especially because Ape is playing Caveira, hiding downstairs to not be seen by any of the drones.
There's Pika's drone. Wait, has Pika's drone saw him? Has Pika's drone saw him? Yeah, Pika's drone saw him.
Oh,
that's
okay. Well, in that case,
he spent the whole prep phase hiding, and he still got spotted. The rest of the team had to do all the rotates, all the reinforcements. He did nothing, and he still got spotted.
And the bigger thing about Caveira is, when you don't know there's a Caveira, you can afford to laser drone a little bit. But when you know there is a Caveira, you will double, triple, quadruple check every single drone entry. Because if you get interrogated at this level of play, it's basically the round over. Unless it's like a 1v5 or something for the Caveira, of course. So now Direwolves, they gotta be very slow in this round. They cannot go too fast and risk getting interrogated. They have to just take a top floor, work their way down, layer by layer, check all the corners, and also have that rule, go into no single photo entries, okay? No longer allowed.
It's funny though because Ape is actually playing in the most obvious hiding spot on this map. I swear, you always check that little desk corner and open area.
Cubicle.
Yeah, that little cubicle. And Haikal's also playing a little bit of a hiding position here. We do have a pretty solid Caveira counter as well with the Dokkaebi. Probably one of the best operators to counter that Cav.
The best with Deimos, yeah.
Yeah, true. Deimos is the other one.
And maybe Deimos relies on you already having seen the Caveira with a drone. So in this case, it would be cool.
Oh
my! Nice.
That shot peeker. And immediately Haikal is stabbed in the back. That was just beautiful. Shed is able to find a C4 kill onto Seal. Big player to take down, being that Buck. That does remove the secondary hide. Oh, that's unfortunate. Keeper Berry doesn't expand there from MC. Oh, I mean, Direwolves honestly can be pretty happy with the progress they've made.
Yeah, they can, but you know the biggest obstacle is that open area portion, and they've not really seen much of the roam game that's happening there. Still got 6 drones in pocket, but right now nobody's really using them. They're all holding their angles,
Drop the bomb diffuser.
waiting for an aggressive swing. I mean, look at this. They're wall banging the wall into Telos Archives, expecting someone to be there. But Elevate, they're playing this smart. They know that time is low, and they still got the active Euro roam game. All they need is one miss up here, one misstep for Direwolves. They can just steal the round away.
Diffuser.
That Cav is still holding on to that position on that hatch. It's finally MC falls back. He's spotted. Souffle has snuck into this dangerous position here. He's got this open mirror window so he can kill anyone that passes through red. There's also a crack in this barricade. He's surely good for 1 or 2 here. He needs his teammates to force these Elevate players into his lines of sight, but Elevate are finding all the kills. Now it's just Souffle and Pika left. Pika has to be the one pushing these Elevate players around. Souffle can't make the first move. He exposes his position. And how have Direwolves fumbled this advantage? They surely should have won this round, and now it's going to be an easy finish off for Elevate. As they find their first defense win, Souffle looks for a consolation frag. He finds nothing. Elevate back on the board, and they're starting to extend their lead, inching closer to match point.
That's such a frustrating position there for Souffle. You probably saying to your teammates, guys, I got the gap, just like make the move, like make a pressure point somewhere because I got angles to cover. I see red, I see the B door, the A door, please help. And then he's the last alive, doesn't find a kill, barely does any damage, and that's while Elevate had no idea where he was. I hate when that happens,
Need to locate
because it
and
feels
defuse
so
bomb.
free. You got this gift granted to you out of nowhere. You should never get garage control without the defenders knowing. That should reward you with a massive play. But look at this. Solo push, and then eventually, with Face left alone, forced to get solo pushed as well. Can't do a whole lot about it. Elevate very proactive on the roam game, and it's no surprise to see them go open area with this kind of lineup. They can do everything right now. This brings them intel, plant deny, rotations, the roam game, the early, mid, and late stage of the round covered because they got such good set of operators. They're a little bit low on self-destruction. That's why they brought the Asami with the slug shotgun instead, because otherwise all they had were deagles and impact grenades. Scopos, by the way, already spinning both attacks to make rotates the second the round started. But this is a lineup that was a fight. Elevate is not saying, we got a strong bomb site, come fight us there. They're saying, we want to own as much of the map of Bank as possible. We're gonna fight you on all the entry points early as possible.
I like the aggression. Direwolves seem pretty good at clearing. I mean, they play reasonably aggressively on their own attack as well. And Elevate, I mean, that roam last round was quite passive, and it didn't work, right? So maybe aggression is the play. Elevate have a lot of confidence in their own gun skill, their own abilities. Oh, here's a run out. Scopos taken out though. Not sure exactly, did Pika, was he just already on the ground and he covered his teammate? I think that's what happened.
I'm not sure the exact timing, but Skobos cannot teleport while outside the building, so for him to be in that position is a bit of a puzzling one because you're more limited when you catch it. But then again, if you're in garage, for example, you can always teleport back up to the bomb site or somewhere else. Yeah, you're actually outside, so he went for an aggressive swing. Very risky. Goes punished. And the issue with playing aggressive with this kind of lineup is that when you lose the first player, you're gonna start feeling that pressure. Okay, now we have to either play more aggressive, get back that numbers to be equal, because the bomb set itself, as I said, it's relatively weak. Outside of the Valkyrie camps for intel and the keeper barriers, you have nothing going for you on the side. And Shen also spent the C4 early in the round, so they're losing one of their plant deny utilities as well, very early on.
Alright, Wolves. Just need to keep up this pressure, right? Slowly but surely keep this progress going. Opening up the floor with the Buck is a great element to that. Previously he was C4'd, but all these C4s going out have missed. 2 out of 3 already used. Only one with one left is Nhaical. He's not in a position to use it on this vert at the moment. Nape does open the equation. Good trade. Pika's hungry for more, and he's got a read on that player down in the basement as well. Direwolves still have that numbers advantage. They don't have a solid way into side as of yet, and Speakeasy's going for a pretty ambitious flank.
Gonna strike from multiple angles right now. Play that forward 2. Safe guys. 3, 2, 1. Hit the side. Play out the gunfights because right now there's not a plan angle. This is gonna be a kill angle for Direwolves.
Pika's found another one. 3K on the round, all up to Speakeasy. Easy as you like for Pika. Massive round on the Ash. Direwolves looked really solid on that attack. Slowly but surely taking the control they needed, isolating players, taking them down. Elevate need to be careful because Direwolves are coming for them. This is not going to be an easy finish off the game, especially if Elevate are looking, hoping, praying for a regulation win. I actually think Direwolves have a real solid way into this.
It does feel a bit like Elevate, they want to try and just take this as simply as possible. Just, play the map, play for kills, save strats if you will, like not give away anything for the future, for the freeze, not show off their default setups. I don't know that much about Elevate, I'll be honest, but I don't think this is their usual bang strat in the most important match of their career, for example. I think this is very much a, we're locked in top 2 in our position, we're fine. We can try and just match this out 1-to-1 in gun skill and see what happens there and save stuff. If this were how Elevate would play it, let's say against Bleed for like the finals, I would be very surprised.
Yeah.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah,
And,
I mean, I'm...
As opposed to high strats. Like the reward for locking in top 2 is that you can chill in some of the later games against teams that your standings doesn't get affected by it. So this is not Elevate being like lazy or bad. It's Elevate playing so well throughout the entire stage that they can buy themselves the availability to not like try hard, so to speak, on this bank.
Yeah, I do wonder what maps we'll end up seeing in these BO3s from teams like Elevate. Because it's going to be like counter-stratting central, right? We've already seen so many VODs. Nice run out. Shit, I can't believe he's allowed to find one there. Is it a temptation from Nhaical to also go for a run out? I tell you what though, the Roni is not a weapon you want to be running out with. Not a very big magazine and extremely low damage. You're going to lose unless you land that headshot.
It's the smallest magazine in the entire game from an automatic weapon. 16 bullets, 17 to 11. What?
Okay.
Look at that. That's a clean headshot. Doesn't need any more boost than that.
He still survives as well. He was like mid-death as we switched off of him. And meanwhile, Ape is just finding kills. So it looks like Elevate are likely to lock in the match point here. Bin and Souffle trying to redeem this round, but I don't think they have much chance of doing it. Especially not now. Bin's taken out. It's all up to Souffle. And the poor guy is outside the building with his bloody IQ scanner out. Mate, you're going to need to do a lot more than that. The C4 has left floorboards exposed up in this position for that diffuser. In order to recollect it, he's going to have to make himself a little bit vulnerable. I might be able to hear him as well. They spot him on that camera. It's a long trek towards the site, and a lot of work needs to be done before you can get that diffuser on the ground.
This is I'm sure a lot of people have been here in ranked. You know, you play IQ, you scan the Capcan traps, the Valk camps, you tell the teammates where they are, and yet again you find yourself here in a 1v4 with all the Valk camps still alive, with one teammate dying to a pre-play C4 who was told because of the Valk cam when to pop it. It's frustrating, it really is. But mind you, while Direwolves are playing this out, while Souffle is navigating the map, this is also like a small tactical timeout. Because I don't think Souffle is, you know, playing this round as if, you know, oh, I'm gonna clutch this. He'll try. But he does give the team a breathing room for like 60 seconds to say, guys, upcoming round, what are we going to do? What are our problems? How can we fix them? That angle doesn't work. The table is somewhat destroyed. You're gonna walk down the staircase. Crossfire to your left and your right being established. Good luck, have fun, Souffle.
He's dead, man. 3-way crossfire. Yeah, at this point, you're right. It's got to be that tactical timeout. Keep the barrier as well. The nade forces that position back. I mean, Speakeasy's going to get this kill. Absolutely. He baits him out for a second. Good shot there from Souffle. First one.
5 seconds.
Bit of respect here from Elevate. Not looking to give him anything more. And he will save that KD, it seems. Final pre-fire out. And that's the round done and dusted. Elevate got their match point. Direwolves still a chance to keep this game alive, but they need to push into overtime. 2 more rounds in a row on the attack is what they need.
It does feel a lot like when Direwolves, they fall behind, the round just really falls out of their grip. Like, sure, a lot of teams you can argue that for, but the second they're like 2 players down, they start making these really aggressive, kind of silly plays. The Buck jumping in stock window, for example, dying to the Cality for Ape. There's no heat for it. The Valkyrie was also in the room, so he even droned it actually. As the C4 off the Valcam. Small things. The Direwolves get the opening pick or they get the trade, they're still in it. They're chilling, they got their plan A, they got their plan B. When they lose both those 2 first plans, I don't think they have a solid plan C. That's what becomes like a freestyle. Hey guys, go fishing, you know, look for those freebies. And when Elevate don't present themselves as a free kill, the round just stalls out and nothing really happens for a while. That's Elevate playing smart, while Direwolves are unable to like force the plays themselves, so to speak. Other lineups, Bang can be very aggressive as we've seen, but we've not had a lot of Dokkaebi, demos,
5 seconds to go.
no shield play, and again, once he puts a band, the fuse is open, it's always possible. Also played once by Elevate, now being brought up by Harambe too. On this basement take, it can work quite well with taking Garage or taking servers. This could be Direwolves opting to go for like a default bank take. It's going to be pretty passive and very utility oriented instead of like a roam clear.
Yeah, but I don't know. It feels risky if you don't actually take full map control. I don't know. It's so hard for me to read. I just can't put faith in Direwolves in the current state of them. It's frustrating to say, but Elevate have seemingly outclassed them this game so far, and look, if this ends up being a combination of the win from Elevate and Direwolves don't get any points out of this match, then they end up in 6th place, right at the bottom of the playoffs standings. That means that they'll go up in the quarterfinals against NoCap, which to me is actually a very tantalizing prospect, because that was 4th and 5th place teams in stage 1, and Direwolves actually beat NoCap in that quarterfinal. So it could be history repeating itself. As we see the Osa plant is threatened. There's a lot of util to clear though.
Very early fire pop there, but rather late than never. Ash starts went down, shattered the mirror window, C4 pocket of Ape. Oh sorry, C4 pocket of Shed and Speakeasy rather, and shut down the plant. Abe's single impact can also destroy that Osa shield at some point in the round if he's needed for it. Direwolves, as I said, very simple approach right now. Osa shield downstairs, you can try and go for a plant. Just lock it down the flanks. No plays are happening besides server. So if this C4 strikes and hits the mark, that'll be round over. Shoot him in there. Oh,
Need to bait these out. Oh, nice impact grenade though. That does destroy the shield. There's still another shield at large, but that was a really deadly impact. Ape's now fully out. There's still 2 C4s active, but that's a huge pick from Enhai. Direwolves need to hold their flanks. Bin going down certainly disrupts that. Going for the plant again here from Harambe. Good cover from Pika. Takes down one of those flanking operators. Speakeasy needs to get aggressive in the side. These C4s not able to deny the plant. Enhai way out of position. Direwolves look to be doing this 4v2 in the post plant, and it's almost impossible now to go for this retake. And Hykel finally dispatched with on that roam, and Ape up against the world on site. That plant, oh, it's been confirmed, and his head swiped off by Souffle. Direwolves are not done just yet. That was finally a solid attack from them. Finally, what we've been needing from them.
It's not a bad attack at all. It was actually quite good, but I will say Elevate, they made that too easy. NHK needed to rotate. When they go to throw out the impact grenade, and knows for a fact you took down the first Osa shield, that's great. But look at that. They stacked the C4 with the impact grenade, only killing one of the two shields. The only remaining C4 in the round was from NIKL, who's upstairs on the roam. The second he gets that kill, he needs to get back downstairs because that C4 can save the round. No Osa shield equals no plant equals round victory for the defenders. Very small things, again. Direwolves need so many things to go their way, while Elevate also has to make massive mistakes. Otherwise, the round seems to just favor one team, and that team is not Direwolves.
Yeah. Yeah, well, Elevate are going to just change things up. I think it's probably the right call. Like, they could have gone back down to that basement, but that round was not pretty. And credit to Direwolves, they, like, that push is kind of like a minimum viable push, right? Like, in business, we have minimum viable product. That was minimum viable push. It's like, what's the least amount of map that we can take possible to still have a viable attack? And does reduce the amount of places something can possibly go wrong. To just a few little key moments, and Direwolves happen to win those moments. Elevator like, look, let's just not even bother. Let's bring out a bomb site that we actually haven't played this entire half, the final round of this half, to try and lock this game out. But Nick, like, let's be honest, this is actually the most important round of the match so far. If Direwolves wins this round, they guarantee at least 5th place. And that means that they won't be on the same side of the bracket as Elevate and NoCap in the standings.
Seeing the same kind of vibe again. The Scopus that has been so ineffective thus far. Yes, you can teleport. Yes, you can have presence in 2 places pretty much at the same time. But again, Scopus dies first. Very, very early. To Togepi no less. Also get hacked. Look at that. Valkyries on the board. Mossy as well. Any hacked drones? Know where they are. Any Valkyms? Same story there. The 2 C4s and Pocket of Elevate shouldn't even find any value, at least off of intel from above. So this is Elevate's win conditions dwindling, but that swing though. Speakeasy is so accurate in the gunfight, takes down Seal back to a 4-on-4. Direwolves are great when they're ahead, but it starts falling apart for them. They lose plan A, and they slowly are starting to lose plan B.
And Peak has gone down as well. That's one of the big players for Direwolves, one of the biggest hitters on that team. 11 kills in this game. You can see the rest of this squad form up. Now, Harambe still has this Osa, and he can start moving towards that site, but, I mean, there's still roamers here in open area. Site's over in Tellers. Elevate's still holding on to so much map control. I was looking a little bit lost. Like you said, they don't know how to break into this.
It's time for plan C, which usually means we don't know what to do. And Elevate are playing this so smart. They recognize that, hey, Archive Stellar's all about map control. They started off, now they're playing open area. They have one player on site, he's like the middle pillar. Everyone else are spread around in a circle around him, basically. Got a Scopus shield pre-placed on Elevator's first floor. That's dead, you can teleport to it, but it does give you information because the shield has a built-in bulletproof camera. So a ton of viable information from Elevate. Make good decisions around it. Nice pop here.
Oh, nice shot from Bin Bin! He had information on the hacked Scopus camera. And immediately that puts Speakeasy in a rough position. Now he's taken out. Numbers still favor Elevate. But Bin Bin is so close to finding this pick now. He's in a crossfire. But Shed refuses to give up his position. He's going to hold on there. Meanwhile, Souffle has got to go and recollect that diffuser. And Bin Bin decides to back on out. The inactive shell will still give information as he passes this position. NIKL to lock in a nice headshot. It's up to Souffle to try and save what's left of Direwolves' stage here in the round robin. 2 kills to find, but Shed and NIKL will give him nothing. Elevate call the GG. A regulation victory 7-5 is everything that they could have asked for. They continue their form here as they go into the playoffs, the second best team in this region.
The only thing we're missing was a scope us to see some actual action in the server. That would have been perfect. Elevate, they played these funky operators, the active roam, the soft destruction, and it didn't work in the beginning. But eventually, it started going better and better until they finally found that regulation victory.
Yeah, finally, a win over the board for Elevate. But on the flip side, for Direwolves, they actually get a rematch in the quarterfinals, a date with NoCap, who they managed to take down in Stage 1. And we finally know how the round-robin phase has panned out, as I'm sure they'll break it down for you guys on the desk.
Thank you very much for that, gentlemen. Don't worry, boys. Don't worry. I know. Both of them started looking. I know. You don't have to wait too long.
We'll say it's not often you do it, Rob. So
no, for those of you who don't know, I have my Discord muted, and if you saw their if you rewind just 35 seconds, you'll see both of them go, "Uh-oh, where's Discord?" Look, gentlemen, a game for Direwolves that I think came closer than we expected. We saw a little bit out of them, Xenox, and hopefully this is something to take into the playoffs, kind of gaining a little bit of momentum, a little bit of hope for their storyline.
I think the biggest takeaway for me is that was the best result you could get from Direwolves. I actually don't think there was a better result. So both teams won. It's not often we walk away from a game of Siege where we're saying both teams have won. For Direwolves, they get to stay on the side of Elevate. They don't have to go and play Bleed. Most importantly, they were competitive. They would have felt that the way that they were playing and the rounds that they were getting, and I honestly thought they were going to get OT, but again, it worked out better that they didn't get the 1 point. So at the end of the day, for Direwolves, they can maybe take something from that, sets them up nicely now. That game against NoCap to begin the playoffs is going to be a fascinating one. Of course, no easy path just because you're on the side of the the Elevate bracket, but yeah, we'll see if that can put them in good stead.
Guys, now, I mean, we can kind of transition away from the whole conversation of the league and certain matches, because we've now got a very good idea. We've got 7 best-of-1s for every team heading into playoffs, which obviously starts to drastically change how we look at some of these matchups. I mean, Elevate, for me, I would have liked to have seen maybe a cleaner game from them coming out of this, because I feel like there's an element here where they've let a couple of rounds slip. Obviously, I'm really far-fetching here. But what are your thoughts of Elevate heading into playoffs now?
I don't really know if today's result changes things all that much. The biggest reason being that their position on the standings was not under threat in this matchup. So for them, it really comes down to what they wanted to get out of this particular game. I do agree with your sentiment, and I think it was shared by Nick and the cast overall quite a bit, that there were a couple of rounds where they did lack a bit of finesse, and there were a couple of positions where they were, struggling to find win cons, and their backup plans maybe did fall short. And it's rounds like that that expose this team as being pretty hard set in second, and maybe lacking the clinical nature of the likes of the Bleeds of the world. So still a solid result for Elevate. They walk away with the win, and going into playoffs, who knows? They continue to improve. That's been the big storyline for them. Can they take that next big leap over the next week and a half, 2 weeks? I'll wait and see.
Well, let's have a look at the standings. That's something we don't have to wait and see, thankfully. We can get straight underway with this conversation. This is how things have panned out. Obviously, South Asia without enough grit? No, that's not the right word. There's just not enough quality at the moment for them to be beating the Southeast Asian teams. They've gotten close in a couple of matches, but knock, their 3 points come from their win against Hasib, and it's just a little unfortunate. It's a very difficult conversation as we now head into playoffs. We drop out of the conversation of South Asia, and this is how the bracket pans out. Xenox, we were obviously just talking about it. Direwolves lost just then, 7-5. Keeps them on the upper side away from Bleed until the very end. Good result for them.
I wasn't really listening, actually, because my food
That's
just got
okay.
here, Rob, but I can...
Let me...
That's okay.
My apologies,
No.
mate. My apologies. I don't mean to interrupt you and your food.
Okay, I'll just take it from here, though, and kind of just go over the bracket very quickly. So I think that what's intriguing when you kind of go and have a look at, like, where we've seen teams previously, Fury's usually in that kind of like proverbial top 2, right? So this is one of the rare times that they're going to have to kind of like run that gauntlet. They start with Rival, I think a team that have done some good things so far this stage, but have they got the quality in a best of 3? Whole aspect of the stage now changes, Rob, where we go from best of 1s where you can be a little bit gimmicky, you can win a map here or there. Best of 3s is typically where Fury, I think, are going to thrive. I can't remember if it was like last week we spoke to like Colas, and he felt the same sense as well. So I would say Fury Rival, that's going to be a case where it's like that best of 3 map pool is going to be so dominant. Rival's got a lot of work to do on their map pool. Whereas I think NoCap and Direwolves, I don't know if it's a map differential between the two teams. I think that for Direwolves, they showed a little bit in this last play day, of course, in the very quick game that we just had against Elevate. So NoCap, you know, they've struggled on entries. They were better in that as well. So 2 teams that probably performed better on Play Day 7 going into that first quarterfinal.
Guys, any final thoughts on this one?
Look, I think at the end of the day, the bracket has played out largely as expected. The biggest caveat to that being, and admittedly I put Fury in first place heading into this particular stage, it's the fact that they have only been able to begin their run in the quarterfinals. They somewhat salvaged it a little bit towards the tail end, but certainly have gone far off the radar of being a genuine competitor against Bleed. If they inevitably, as expected, go on to beat Rival, we'll see that match up in semifinals. So it's going to be a big spice up and shake up from what we saw in the previous stage. But I think the stage as a whole has very much been set for Bleed to continue their run of dominance here in Asia.
Yeah, well, we will not be seeing Bleed and Elevate tomorrow. They're going to have the day off. We kickstart quarterfinals here for the best of 3 format. That's where the conversation really starts to change. It's going to be a competitive one. It's one that you won't want to miss. So please make sure you're here tomorrow night, same place, same time. Until then, take care and good night.